Well, Fuds, it looks like shotguns are back on the menu. Hey guys, below average Utah dad. So just wanted to, admittedly, it's got a nice ring to it. But let's talk about why this isn't the best solution in the world for home defense. Unless, okay, this is actually got a pistol grip and it's about that long. Why is that important? Well, one, if I'm clearing my house, I don't want to be toting around a 22-inch, 28-inch, I don't even know how long this thing is, shotgun for shooting birds. You're also not going to want to choke on it because you're probably going to be using buckshot. I guess you could put a choke on it if you're going to shoot buckshot. You're not going to shoot a slug. Why is all that important? Well, so like I inherited this. This is a family heirloom. I got it from my stepdad when he passed away, and it's a great shotgun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great bird gun. You know, you can do a lot with it. It's great for skeet, and it's fun to shoot. It is, and that again, it just sounds fun. It sounds cool, but this isn't the gun that I shoot a lot. It's probably not the gun that you or anybody else shoots a lot. Why is that important? Well, we just talked about, like, think about what birdshot is. Because there are people that say, oh, I can shoot birdshot with full choke and, 8 yards away. Okay, so 8 yards, that's 24 feet. Are you going to be shooting at someone 24 feet in your house? The most hallways are longer or aren't even 24 feet. So, like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. You're going to be shooting at something up close. And birdshot is specifically designed to hit a really small, fragile target and do as little damage as possible while still neutralizing it. A human body is a lot tougher than a bird, so you're not going to use birdshot. All right, so let's move on to something like number 4, buckshot. Not even double-aught buckshot. Double-aught buckshot's going to over-penetrate. You can go to the Grand Thumb video where they get built. I'll include a link to it in the description, but there's a great video that Grand Thumb does, and it goes over a bunch of different things. And granted, almost every single firearm that he uses over-penetrates when you miss. Now that's the key thing, when you miss. Going back to this, number 4 buckshot's probably the only type of home defense round that I would suggest. Maybe if you wanted to make your own wax rounds, which we're not going to go over because YouTube will poop all over me. But there's some great videos by Iraq veteran 8888 that go over like homemade wax rounds if you want to get into that. Super easy, cut shells, things like that. But again, now you're starting to talk about modifying existing rounds, and there's some gray area in that, depending on the state you're in and things like that. So, shotguns can be great. If this is the only firearm that you have and you don't have the budget to purchase a different firearm, then yeah, this is a great home defense round or home defense tool because it's what you have. Use what you have. Practice with what you have. If you can find a range, in a lot of indoor ranges don't let you use shotgun unless you use lead shot, and a lot of times they make you buy their shells to use it. So, confirm with your range. If this is all you have, go practice. Go practice doing quick loads. Go practice doing succession. Go practice doing like from all the way down to up and firing, and be accurate. And see how far out your rounds, especially if you're using that number 4 buckshot or double-aught buckshot. Don't practice with slugs, because you're not going to use a slug. A slug is going to go through your target and it's going to go through walls unless you hit like 3 studs, and even then that's a lot of mass, and it's not going to be, you're not going to use a slug for home defense. So test what your spread looks like in a controlled environment, because you're not going to want to test what that is when you're having to use it in that emergency situation. So if we're ruling this out, let's say you're a new gun owner, or let's say you're not a gun owner, but you want to get a gun for home defense. Let's rule out a shotgun. Because again, finding a decent pump action shotgun, you're probably looking at $300. What if your budget's $200? Well, if your budget is $200, that's when maybe you can look for something like go to a local pawn shop, go to your local gun shop, talk to them, go to a range, practice, find out what you're most comfortable with. My guess is it's going to be something like 9mm or 380. It might even be like 22 or 22 Magnum. I wouldn't use 22 for home defense at more than like 1 or 2 yards. I like 9mm, all right? But I also have an AR. Now, my AR is not really configured for home defense. It's a 16-inch barrel. It's not an AR pistol. This is a full-length AR. But I do have like 70 grain rounds in there. I think they're VMAX. I can't remember what I have in here. It's been a while since I shot my AR. And it's probably time I go do that just so that I can refresh and so that I can get it back into, or I can get back into a good groove and clear through some of my ammo. Anyways, do that too. I'm talking to myself. You guys know that I do that in these long form videos. AR is great. If you can get an ARP, or if you want to go through the process of filling out a Form 1 and getting a tax stamp and doing a short barrel rifle, I would say 8 to 11-inch barrel is going to give you a decent amount of burn where you're getting good penetration, but you're not going to get over penetration after you shoot your target. The big thing is consistency, practice. It doesn't matter if you're using this, if you're using the shotgun, if you're using something like this. Like, this is actually my home defense weapon. I've got an 8.5-inch barrel. It's 9mm. It's great. I've got my super cheap Dagger Defense Chinese knockoff red optics that look really cool, except to people that are fuds and that don't like the fact that I have really cool red anodized matching furniture. I mean, seriously, guys, you fuds that are out there, like, it looks cool. You can complain about the fact that it looks cheap. That's fine. I don't care. The optics look cheap, but it is fun to shoot, and it looks really cool. And my stuff is on point. Going back, budget. Check out your local pawn shop. Check out your local shooting range. Talk with one of the range masters there, especially if it's attached to like a gun shop, and find out what kind of sales they have. Sometimes they sell their rental guns. That's worth looking into. Tell them you're a first-time buyer. Another option that's out there is you have guns like Sky. You have guns like Taurus. Especially if you get like a second-hand Taurus. They make good firearms. They're reliable. They function. Are they as good as a Glock? Some people will say no. I EDC'd a Taurus 24/7 G2C for about 8 years. Prior to that, I had a Star Firestar, which is a single-stack 1911 style 9mm, and I didn't even have the stock magazine for it. It was like a knockoff Pro Mag, because that's all I could find. But I inherited that from my stepdad, just like I did the shotgun. Talk to your range. Taurus is a good option. If you're really, really on a budget, maybe you're 21 and you're finishing up college or just joined the military or something like that. You're going to trade school. You don't have a lot of money. Maybe you're a newly married person. Or you have a young family. Go get a high point. There are people that are going to hate that I just said that, but you can check out Classic Firearms. You can go to Demolition Ranch. I mean, he tested the living snot out of high points. Yes, they're ugly and they're bulky and they're just but they work and they will endure torture and they're accurate, at least accurate enough. But the most important thing, as I've said, and I'll reiterate, and anybody who's out there will agree with this, go out and practice. Go get in the time. Okay? So we're dead, YouTube. Go dry fire. You can dry fire a pistol. That's what Mantis X is. That's what Strike Man is, if you want the kind of knockoff version. You don't even have to have that. Go buy an airsoft gun and practice with an airsoft gun. At close range, the airsoft is going to be accurate enough that you're going to be able to, do your thing. This is on my table. There's not a person holding my phone, so I don't want to hear any shit from anybody about pointed a gun at somebody. Practice. Get the feel of your pistol. Get the feel of your shotgun, of your AR, whatever it is that you have. I do a lot of comedic stuff. I make shorts and I do long form videos that usually get ignored by YouTube. I do all kinds of stuff. I like to do things with my kids. I like to have things fun. But the reality is the Second Amendment exists not for me to just make stupid comedy videos. It exists to protect against tyranny. It exists to protect us from the kind of crap that's going on in Colorado right now, by the way. Shout out to Boomstick Babe and Spartan Defense, because you guys have an uphill battle with that legislation, SB 25-003, which, by the way, if you're in Colorado, that was voted on. And so, yeah, that's the thing that's going to happen. Pretty much every semi-automatic pistol, you're basically only going to be able to own pump action or lever action devices or revolvers. Yeah, it's a huge infringement on the Second Amendment. So be involved in your community. Go practice with your firearm. Ask questions. Go find a buddy if you want to learn about this. Shoot, if you're in Utah, reach out to me on here and I'll go shooting with you. I'll get you some information. We can meet at a location somewhere in the Upper Salt Lake Valley. I'll go shooting with you. I'll bring some of my stuff if you want to learn. I'll teach you how to shoot. Some people will give me crap. I've been shooting for a long time. Am I perfect? Am I one of those guys that goes out to the range every day? No, but I'll go out with you. We can throw some lead down range. We'll record it. You can be on my video if you want to do that. Like it'll be a fun time. Practice. Always carry strapped. Always carry one in the chamber, unless you have I've decided I'm going to put a caveat to that. Unless you have a Rock Island Arms 1911 that does not have a manual decocker, or that is not that doesn't do single action or double action. If you have to have it cocked and the external safety doesn't decock, I guess don't maybe carry around in the chamber, because I've been doing some research on it. I'm thinking there might be a flaw there at Rock Island. Might want to look into that. Anyways, love you guys. Be kings, be queens, stay safe, have fun with your kids, be at least an average dad, or be a below average dad. Anyways, like, share, and subscribe for more, and hopefully we get some range time here in the near future. I think that's going to happen. And maybe a collaboration. I've had a couple people reach out. If you'd like to see that, let me know. And stay tuned on my posts for some live streams that we're going to do. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and catch you later.